A form is a three-dimensional shape that has length, width, and depth. Here's some examples of forms. Texture is how something feels or looks like it might feel in a work of art. Here's some awesome examples of textures. For this project, you're going to choose your favorite holiday snack and draw it in a three-dimensional shape. You're also going to choose 2 different textures to add to your product. Let's get started. Okay, start off by first drawing 2D shapes and then transforming them into 3D forms. A form is a 3-dimensional shape. So take your common 2D shapes, for instance, a circle, and transform it into a sphere. How you turn it into a sphere is by adding lots of shading and value to the inside of your circle, and then using your finger to smudge the color. I take a little bit away with the eraser, and then I add a small shadow, and then I re-outline the sphere so it looks 3D. Next, you're going to transform a triangle into a pyramid. You can also take that idea of the triangle and turn it into a prism. And finally, a cone, just by adding a curved line at the bottom. Let's find some other 3D forms that we can create. Think about your food packaging and what it would look like. So if you have a can of soup or a box of cereal, look at the shape, study it, and turn it into a 3-dimensional shape. Next, we're going to focus on textures. You're going to need to draw about 8 boxes, and I want you to fill each box with a different type of texture. The first texture I'm going to do is wood. You're going to look around your house, see if you find any examples. The next thing I'm going to do is something called cross hatching, where I do diagonal lines in opposite directions. If I do it one way, one diagonal, then that's a hatch. If I add a bunch of open triangles, I can turn this texture into a spiky texture. Next, I'm just going to stipple. I'm just doing lots and lots of little dots inside my circle to create a stipple texture. Now I'm doing a soft texture like a fabric. Slimy, drippy, and then finally another soft fabric idea. It's a wavy diagonal line in a pattern. Now it's time to create your composition. Use your tools to plan out where your item will be. I am dividing mine in half so that I can have a tabletop and a background for my textures. I'm putting a dot in the center of my line so I know where to draw my cup. I start off by drawing my form. It's a cylinder shape, but a cup has a slightly larger opening at the top. I sketch out the entire thing, even if I am not going to see the other side. I'm adding radiant lines so that I can plan my pattern. You do not have to do that. Make sure when you're drawing to add all of the details of your product and item, including the color on the packaging, the designs. Just spend your time sketching that out. I am creating a wood texture on the bottom, on the tabletop. So I'm creating space for them to look similar to tiles. Now I'm going to carefully fill in every single tile with a wood pattern. So you're going to take a look at your textures that you created and decide on the one you would like to use for your tabletop. You can fill this in with pencil, or you can fill it in with the color that it's actually going to be. For the top portion, I'm doing a fabric pattern. And I'm done. Now it's time for coloring. I selected all the colors I think that I would need to match the design, and I fill in the exact same design that I see on my cup. However, I'm going to give it a holiday twist and make the cup red. Doing a second layer is good. The white sheet of paper I'm using to protect my drawing. Oftentimes when we're drawing, we can transfer color and smear and smudge. Add a shadow to the bottom of your product by using value. Just continue filling in your design however you like. If you're doing fabric, then it should be a pattern of color. And I'm just finishing up the last little pieces by adding this red thread through the center of my fabric. And I'm done. What was the most challenging part of this project? What did you find the most fun? What would you change? Happy holidays.